I have 7 psychological tricks to make people instantly like you. And that starts right now on Ultimate Mind Hacks. Hi, I'm David Oneal, and please like, subscribe, and share. And if you really like the show, support us on Patreon. You know, trust is a very tricky thing. Our brain, it just takes 1 second to decide if we believe someone or not. But if the decisions were correct, there would be no divorces, destroyed friendships, or cheating. That's why people tend to be suspicious and not trust anyone they meet immediately. But if you wish to score some points with someone, there are some proven methods to do it. Have you ever heard of the reciprocity of liking phenomenon? That's a long, drawn-out statement, isn't it? The reciprocity of liking phenomenon. Well, it basically refers to the tendency for some people to like someone who likes them. Now, this happens because people feel warmth and support from their partner, and it's also rewarding to know that you're likable. So one day, if you need to gain someone's attention, all you got to do is show a positive attitude towards them, and you will likely receive the same amount of love. Now, it's not all as simple as that, but sometimes things aren't that complicated. The show starts right now. All right, the 7 ways to instantly make people like you. Here we go. Ready? Point number 1. This is a little bit silly, but be clumsy. The advice might seem weird when you have to spoil a first impression by making a clumsy mistake, but a lot of studies confirm that pointing out our vulnerabilities actually increases our attractiveness and our trustworthiness. But there are 2 important facts you should remember. Before you tell a bad joke or drop a pencil, you should be sure that the person is aware that you have some type of high performance and credibility. And don't make yourself so vulnerable that they might question your reputation. I guess I could just make a mistake like that. Does that make me seem more human? They question your reputation. I can't even say the word. Genuinely, I can't. Reputation. Psychiatrists can build trust by spilling their coffee on themselves and saying, well, I've never been so good with my hands. But surgeons, you wouldn't want a surgeon to say that, right? Now, the second step is simply to apologize. Now, this is an effective but forgotten method to build trust, and just say, I'm sorry. Now, researchers note that this works for situations where you are obviously not at fault. For example, by saying, hey, you know what? I'm sorry about the rain. You express empathy and regret for something sad that has happened to people. You show that you are understanding of their experience, and this considerably increases their belief in you. That's an interesting point, right? I mean, saying I'm sorry it's raining, or I'm sorry it's cold, or I'm sorry it's too windy today. I mean, obviously none of that is within your control, but it does make people like you. Now, point number 3, I think we've all heard this one. It's mirroring, right? Sometimes they call it monkey see, monkey do. This is about imitating facial expressions, gestures, speech patterns, or the behavior of the person that you'd like to like you. The technique, of course, is called mirroring, and it really works. I mean, for example, in the course of a university study, waitresses actually received higher tips when mimicking their customers at the restaurant. Now, more research shows that men evaluated women more favorably in speed dating if women repeated verbal, I'm still being clumsy, repeated verbal and nonverbal behavior of their dates. If you're going to use this method, remember to only mirror positive patterns. Like if they start picking their nose, probably don't do that. It's better not to repeat the actions such as looking or turning away, because that just seems weird. But what I always found is like standing in a way, like if they're standing with their arms folded, you can stand with your arms folded. If they're, kind of going like this, you could do that. I mean, that just, I don't know what it is, but when people see you doing something like them, they kind of like it. I found it kind of works with animals too. Point number 4, cuatro. Tell a secret. Now, self-disclosure is probably one of the most impressive approaches. Do you remember your feelings when you opened up about important things in your life? Maybe with excitement, or your voice trembling, or shivers going down your spine? And when you share something intimate with people, they feel your worries and they actually get closer to you. This means they can confide some of their secrets in you as well. And this is not only proven from an emotional standpoint, it's also science-based. There's research conducted by several educational institutions showed that students who asked each other private questions developed closer relationships compared to groups who didn't share any intimate information at all. I mean, it just goes to say, like, when people are kind of standoffish with you or don't really divulge that they might be going through something, they don't seem human. At least they don't to me. When people kind of share something like, hey, I want to tell you that I'm really not feeling prepared or something like that, it's so good, right? Number 5, this could be a dicey one, but it says, number 5, casually touch your partner. It seems that casual touch can also become a powerful catalyst of trust building. A lot of curious and sometimes provocative studies demonstrate its effectiveness. When an attractive man asked for phone numbers from young women on the street, he touched some of them for the sake of science. Now, 19% of the women who were touched and only 10% of those who were not provided their phone numbers. When employing this method, keep in mind social and cultural norms, of course. Touch is less likely to have any beneficial effects if you violate personal boundaries. Totally true. Okay, point number 6, make it all about them. Now, there's a quote from one of my favorite people, Werner Erhard. He said, be interested, not interesting. Ego suspension is the most difficult way to make someone trust you. When applying this approach, you're supposed to focus on the needs, wants, and perception of the reality of another person. Basically, what is of concern to that person, not what is of concern to me. I should be focused on what's concerning to you. That instantly makes people like you. If you talk about another person or just let them talk and kind of ask open-ended questions of them, they will quickly like you because, hey, people love talking about number 1, me. They like talking about them, and when you seem interested in them, that's more interesting than you. It's kind of a sad fact, but it actually works. Most times when 2 individuals engage in a conversation, each one is patiently waiting for the other person to be done with whatever story he or she is telling. Then, the other person tells his or her own story, usually on a related topic and oftentimes in an attempt to have one better and to make a more interesting story. Don't focus on your stories that always get a good reaction, but ask questions that show a great interest in the person you're talking to. If you do this, you'll absolutely be thrilled with the result. Point 7, slow down your speed of speech. Now, you don't have to talk this slow, but some specialists confirm that the right speed of speech can help you build trust and not lose the other person's attention. Now, we believe it would be wrong to say that you have to choose one speech pace and follow it every single time, but it appears that every situation needs its own rate. For example, fast speaking indicates urgency, excitement, emotion, and passion, while a slow tempo helps to focus on importance, the serious of a point, or the introduction of a new idea. Do you see how that's kind of silly? Like I changed my voice, I leaned in. Those are all things that people perceive as being more intimate. I don't know. What do you guys think? I was saying, don't just listen to me. Give me some tips and comments too below. And the other bonus tip for right now is smile. In one study, nearly 100 undergraduate women looked at photos of another woman in one of 4 poses: smiling in an open body position, smiling in a closed body position, not smiling in an open body position, or not smiling in a body position. And guess what? Results suggested that the women in the photo were liked most when they were smiling, regardless of their body position. All right, everybody, please like, please subscribe, please share, and join us on Patreon. And put a like, put a comment, say something. Love to hear from you.